Yeah, so so he's pumping Sorks right now. Sorks are a really good counter to tier 1. However, the Dryades are obviously the counter to the Sorks. Axe is doing a good job. If you see, he just started throwing up an Expo. And whenever you do that, you usually want to try and push their base as you're throwing up the Expo. It allows the Expo to get up, which is important. He's focusing the Naga first. It's the obvious choice. You always want to try and kill the Naga first. You always want to try and kill the units that are going to stop you from microing first. And I think I've mentioned that before, but so that's why you always kill Dryads first. You always kill Sorks first. You always kill the Naga first. You always kill Raiders first. So that's why you always focus those units first, because those are the things that are going to stop you from running away. I'm getting a bad manner a little bit. He said lightning only hit one, sad, and I said STFU noob. Let's see how he responds.
Lado, you're such a joke that he's not even angry. He's like, what, this guy called me a noob?
I know, he doesn't even hate it. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have a fight here. Called up his militia. Axe really shouldn't fight this against the militia. He doesn't have enough Dryads yet. In terms of food count, 44 to 48. So Axe is winning in food. However, those militia really do add a lot to the army, especially this early in the game. So he should really try to avoid fighting this until the militia turn into peons again. Shit. My keyboard just came unplugged again. My keyboard comes unplugged a lot. Okay, so it looks like he's rolling. Axe is rolling over him right now. And like I said, yeah, he's focusing the heroes, which is good. The reason you focus the heroes is basically just to get them out so that he can get that expo up and just start taking the economic advantage. And once you have the economic advantage, it's a whole downhill from there. Yeah, Pesu just said, Pesu, are you invent? Are you invent?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, what he said was basically it was really stupid of the human player. He was focusing a panda that had a greater healing and an invul. So I'm not really sure what he expected to do by doing that. Maybe force him to use one of them, but that wasn't the time because he ended up taking a lot of extra damage on those units.
Well, the panda was in position to be focused, but he probably just didn't get the items.
That's possible.
Is human even getting mass caster versus mass dryad?
It's not mass dryad, it's dryad hunt.
How would you counter this, Cruncher?
Leave the game. See what's done.
Okay. Let's say it's a fresh new game. When you start. How would you approach this? Alright.
Hey Dad! Good. Yeah, I'll come out. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have my bathing suit on. I have my bathing suit on. I'll come out in a bit.
He just keeps on rifling heroes.
Alright, so Axe used that greater healing potion on his panda. Those footmen, you basically just want to try and not attack them because the footmen will actually do more damage to the Dryads than the Dryads do to the footmen. So you just want to pretty much ignore the footmen. They really don't do a lot of damage. They're just kind of there. And then after you take down the casters, you want to start focusing the heroes, which is exactly what he's doing. And this is probably going to be a good game right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how mass caster beats dryad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he expected to do here. Axe can keep just... why didn't he just turn and fight? Axe could have just kept fighting that. So Axe has expo advantage, food advantage.
Yes.
Use that level 4 bottom. So searing arrow's doing damage. And there he goes. He's going right after the Archmage again. See, take a look in the Archmage's inventory. He has a healing potion, 4 towers. That's kind of funny. And he popped that dust, assuming Axe would actually use hide, but little does he know, Axe doesn't micro. He just right clicks.
Axe doesn't need to anymore in this game.
Yeah, this game is over. You ready? Yeah, so this game is pretty much over. Yeah, Potom is pretty useless early, but after that Potom hits level 3, and look at the Dryads do +4 damage, the Hunts do +3 damage, so every Dryad, I mean, it's a ton of extra damage with that Potom, so Axe did a good job. GG, KOD wins the war. Alright, so that was the last game, and this is an hour and a half long, so I'm going to stop recording. We'll see if Axe should come on vent now. We can see if he wants to offer his thoughts on the game. Yep. And there he is. Axe, do you want to offer your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, sure. Well, I random Lado, and then first thing I did is I put my first well, like, really far back by
Yeah,
my
I commented on that.
Yeah, that's really makes a big difference. I wasn't as careful with the altar because it's really not. The altar is a lot harder to cancel because it has a lot more life, and even if they cancel it, you can just do a tavern build in case of a close spawn situation. But if you lose your first well, you're dead. I mean, it's it's pretty much over. I've almost never seen someone win a game and they lose their first well. So I mean, so from there that was one thing. Just wanted to point out the Lado said you already pointed out. And then I just did a Potom. It's kind of like a Potom Archer build that's very flexible. And then when I saw he was cross spawned from me, I figured I'd just add in, not cross, but I mean on the same side. When you're on the same side like that, I figured I'd just do like an Archer Dryad Hunt mix and expand in between him and me. And when you expand between the two of you like that, it's really easy to keep a lot of pressure on him and protect your expansion at the same time. As well as it's easy to creep that spot and sort of guard against footy harass also, which is one of the things that causes me a lot of problems against human is when they run in with like 4 footmen and kill your wisps. So in building that Ancient Ward, that second Ancient Ward creep, lets you creep aggressively and kind of defend against harass at the same time. And then from there, I noticed you're just doing a 2 Sanctum build, so I focus mostly on Dryads, and just to wipe out all those sorceresses. And he kind of, I mean, his build is kind of hopeless, doing a 2 Sanctum build against a non-bear tech, which he knew was a non-bear tech as soon as, as soon as he saw I went Potom. So I don't know what he was really thinking. But, and then once you use the Dryads, get rid of those orcs, you just ignore the footmen, and then you start pumping a bunch of hunts to deal with the spellbreakers. I mean, the defend really hurts Dryads, but as long as you just kind of ignore the footmen. I mean, footmen are basically like acolytes with more life. So they don't really do anything, you just sort of kind of ignore them and go for the heroes.
I said that exact same thing as you were playing.
I guess we just think on the same lines. It's the Nidal mentality.
Shit.
Oh, one of the things that was pretty key that I did is I turned Abolish off autocast, because he had 4 sorceresses when I had like 2 Dryads. So all my guys are probably going to be slowed anyway. I should have brought a Wisp to help us slow. I lost a couple of units to slow that I could have saved with just 1 Wisp. But his whole damage output is just in the water elementals. So as long as you abolish those, you really can't lose in that type of situation.
That is very true. Yeah, I do the same thing with Dryads. I only turn it on autocast if I have like 6 or more of them. Otherwise, I just leave it off and I do it manually.
Yeah, if you have like basically twice as many Dryads as they have Sorks, you can probably leave it on. Or otherwise, it's probably better to keep it off.
Okay, alright, well this audio is an hour and 40 minutes, so I'm going to stop it here. Thanks to Axe and Pesu and Plazma and even the Cruncher for helping out. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy those games, and I hope everyone has a good Memorial Day. Although this is probably going to be out way after Memorial Day. So, I'll see you guys. Bye.